And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump. That's not even counting the crimes he committed.
I don't have a whole lot of regrets in life, but I gotta say, I do regret not live streaming the incredible debut from Tim Walz as Kamala Harris's VP last night in Philadelphia. It was amazing. So in this video, I'm going to break down, or at least show you, 3 key moments from the Tim Walz speech and some Republican reactions. Let's start, in fact, with that. Here is Trump. This was after the announcement. This is before the speech, but after the announcement that Tim Walz was the VP. Trump here. This is the most radical left duo in American history. There has never been anything like it, and there never will be again. Crazy Kamala is indeed crazy. I hear there is a big movement to bring back Crooked Joe. This is where the wishful thinking comes in. He follows this up with, what are the chances that Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the U.S., whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, Crazy Nancy Pelosi, Shifty Adam Schiff, Crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination? What the hell is he talking about? This is a bit. Somebody posted a meme. I think I'll plaster it here when I find it, of Donald Trump clearly wishing that he had Joe Biden to run up against, because this is madness. He is so clearly exposing the fact that he does not know how to run against Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Out here just wishful thinking publicly for millions upon millions to see that he wishes he was running against Joe Biden. So bizarre. So the campaign also put this out. Tim Walz to be the worst VP in history. Even worse than dangerously liberal and crooked Kamala Harris. He's that bad. He'll unleash hell on earth and open our borders to the worst criminals imaginable. It's just so... It's so stupid. It's so stupid. They also went on to release this. Jennifer Bentry tweeting out here, the Trump campaign is attacking Tim Walz for restoring voting rights to convicted felons. Who wants to tell them? I hope they try to use this attack line on Tim Walz, because he could just come back and say, bro, you're a convicted felon. Do you want me to take voting rights away from you? Incredible. Let me get to the first clip here that I want to share from this amazing speech last night in Philadelphia.
Donald Trump sees the world a little differently than us. First of all, he doesn't know the first thing about service. He doesn't have time for it because he's too busy serving himself. Again and again and again, Trump weakens our economy to strengthen his own hand. He mocks our laws. He sows chaos and division. And that's to say nothing of his record as president. He froze in the face of the COVID crisis. He drove our economy into the ground. And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump. That's not even counting the crimes he committed.
You can see Kamala Harris trying to hold in her laughter at the end there. That line delivered so perfectly, and he has another joke that I'm going to share from that speech that was so good. But so I was watching some coverage of this speech last night. This was apparently one of the first times he's ever used a teleprompter. So while he was in the interview process, he told them, hey guys, I got to let you know something. I don't use a teleprompter in my speeches. So you're going to have to teach me how to use one. And he was apparently practicing backstage before the speech last night and just nailed it. The people that are best on teleprompters are the ones where you can't even tell they're on a teleprompter. Like I was watching this speech. I wasn't sure if he was on one. I figured he had to be because there's a lot there, but I wasn't sure because his delivery is just so natural, and he I think he goes off script a few times there as well. So he's a complete natural. He's such a fantastic communicator and really comes across as somebody who is real, a real person, not your standard politician that some of the other VP choices that she had in front of her, I think fit more into that box. Not that they would have been terrible, but you have someone here who is more folksy, who is more down to earth. Again, a high school teacher. He had a whole career. He was in the military, a whole career before he even joined Congress. This is just a real person, and it shows through the speech. I'm going to get to again more clips from the speech, but I want to just go back and forth with some reaction from Republicans over the Tim Walz pick, because they are losing their damn minds and they do not know how to attack this man. This was a funny one from Fox News last night.
Jessica, I have to ask, why did he honeymoon in China?
What?
He's been to China 30 times. That's strange.
Oh,
I find
was he
that
there with Hunter Biden?
suspicious.
Okay.
Someone should look into it.
Okay, well, here we go. This person looked into it for Jesse Waters. Tim Walz taught American history, culture, and English for a year in China in 1989, volunteering with Harvard's World Teach program. During their honeymoon, Gwen and Tim led 2 high school tour groups there. You MAGA really have no concept of servant leadership or Google. This is look, I know we're talking about Fox News here. I don't expect anything better, but a primetime cable news show, millions of people watching. You didn't think to do a basic search to be able to explain why? No, of course he didn't, because he knows if he did, then he wouldn't have an attack line here. But this goes to show it's purposeful ignorance. They purposely don't want to know the facts because they want to be able to spread propaganda in a way that comes across as authentic to them. It's disgusting. Here is another fantastic clip from last night.
Some of us in here are old enough to remember. I see you down there. I see those old white guys. Some of us are old enough to remember when it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make. Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business. That includes IVF. And this gets personal for me and my family. When my wife and I decided to have children, we spent years going through infertility treatments. And I remember praying every night for a call for good news. The pit in my stomach when the phone rang, and the agony when we heard that the treatments hadn't worked. So it wasn't by chance that when we welcomed our daughter into the world, we named her Hope.
It is so wild to see a campaign, a Democratic campaign, actually know how to campaign and frame a message. People for so long have been wanting Democrats to reframe the discussion around freedom and family values. Who's actually for those issues? You have here Tim Walz. Again, you could not design a more perfect VP candidate to go up against J.D. Vance in a lab. Tim Walz had children through IVF. J.D. Vance, in June, voted against the Right to IVF Act, which would have protected accessibility and affordability of in vitro fertilization services nationwide. Who's actually for family values? Who's actually for freedom? Let me get to a couple more reactions from the loons. Here is Stephen Miller.
He is a moron, he is an incompetent, he is a radical, and he is going to turn the entire Midwest into a third world state. This is a disaster for America. We have to beat this guy, and we have to beat Harris in November.
All right. Yeah, run on that. Lunatics. This is like, you're not beating the weird allegations by having Stephen Miller be one of your spokesmen here. Let's get to Ben Shapiro, who went on like a 7-minute rant about the Tim Walz debut. Here's a piece of that.
If you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. You know, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch in favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls for a chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering.
Choreographed? It's a political rally. Chants happen. What the fuck are you talking about?
And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me, middle-class person, or Tim Walz, middle-class person, can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now, I agree with that. But she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz. Tim Walz said, if you go back.
Oh my God. So stupid. Ben Shapiro is so worked up that you'd think Cardi B dropped a new music video. Like, go back to what you're good at, Ben. Music videos about rappers or from rappers. And is there a new Barbie movie? Has Barbie 2 been announced? I'm sure he'll have a few videos about that. Lunatic. Let's get to the next clip from Tim Walz, showcasing once again how he is so good at delivering a line.
Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
Absolutely perfect. Hilarious. The couch line. Oh my God. I did not expect him to do a couch line. And the brilliance of that line is even if you don't know the JD Vance couch story and that whole meme, you still enjoy the line. Like, you know, it doesn't have to mean anything more than what it was. But if you know the meme, then it's absolutely hilarious. And then, yeah, going back to the creepy and weird, fantastic. Like, the more I learn about Tim Walz, the more I love him. I did my video yesterday where I bring up something that came out recently and came out in the speech as well when Kamala Harris was introducing him. While he was a high school teacher, and this is in 1999, he was the football coach as well, and a student came to him wanting to start a gay-straight alliance group. And he realized that how symbolic, how important it would be if the football coach was the faculty member to support that alliance. Like, this is back in 99, when views about gay people were not good. And he realized how important it was to stand up for these students. Just an incredible human being. So you could not have picked a better person. Like, I am very happy with this ticket. People should be ecstatic with the choice you have in November. I want to share a few more examples of the loons since it's time to have a good laugh. So here's this is just what. Listen to where the hell this goes, because it is so all over the place.
She goes reflexively to Minnesota because she felt he was loyal. It's been reported on CNN today that he was loyal. I thought they said Trump had a loyalty test. They didn't like that.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting where he said that I'll have President Harris's back if we get elected. What is he comparing that to? Is he comparing that to Kamala Harris with Joe Biden? I didn't understand what that meant at all. It made no sense. But it did make me think, oh, is he saying that Kamala Harris stabbed Joe Biden in the back and managed to get the Democratic nomination through using the entire party powerful apparatus and money bag men to take the nomination away from him and give it to her? Is that what he was saying? I don't know. It was really weird. But
Charlie, yet she...
What the hell are you talking? He got a lie. Look, it went from Walz simply saying, I'm going to have Harris's back, to, well, is he saying Kamala Harris stabbed Joe Biden in the back and then took the presidency? No, he's just saying he's going to have Kamala Harris's back as her vice president. What the fuck is wrong with you? These people, this shows you they have nothing to work with. This one I love. I always love this attack line, because I'll show you why in a second.
This is the most extreme. This is going from San Francisco to, here you go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me. I served with Tim. We came into Congress together. He's known for being the Bernie Sanders of Congress. But to combine this...
The Bernie Sanders of Congress. The Bernie Sanders of Congress. Why do Republicans think this is a line that hurts politicians? Bernie Sanders voted the most popular senator again. This is 2019. 11 times in a row, the most popular senator. You can look up right now. Look up the most popular politicians in the U.S. You will find a list. Bernie Sanders is, I think, 4th on that list, but in terms of active politicians, at the top of that list, because the others are like Barack Obama, Michelle Obama may be on there, Bill Clinton may be on there. But in terms of active politicians, Bernie Sanders is the top of that list. Why would you think comparing the Tim Walz to Bernie Sanders is going to hurt him? It's just, these people are so in their own bubbles. All right, here is Trump. Trump on Fox and Friends this morning reacting to the pick. I should have teased this earlier, but here you go.
We know what Kamala Harris's record is, and we know what his record is, and they are extremely progressive. Talk about how you're going to handle this on the campaign trail. Will you just really hone in on how they voted in the past?
Well, I am. I'm going to be doing that, what he wants. If you look at his record with no walls, no security, let everybody in, he's worse than they are. You know, nobody...
No walls, no security, let everybody in. He's in Minnesota, bro. It's insanity.
Knew how radical left she was, but he's a smarter version of her, if you want to know the truth. He's probably about the same as Bernie Sanders. He's probably more so than Bernie Sanders. She is more so than Bernie Sanders. That's got to be your guide, Bernie Sanders, and it's not a great guide. But there's never been a ticket like this. This is a ticket that would want this country to go communist immediately, if not sooner. We want no security. We want no anything.
Hold on. Immediately, if not sooner. What's sooner than immediately? Go back in time. They're so communist that they want to go back in time. They want to get a time machine, build a time machine, and then go back in time to do communism back in time, so that when I'm talking right now, it's already communism. Like, well, what are we doing here, people? What is this?
Into transgender, anything transgender, he thinks is great, and he's not where the country is on anything.
Mr. President,
this is a shocking. Let me tell you, this is a shocking pick, and I think it's very insulting to Jewish people, and I think it's very insulting to people that want security. I think it's very insulting to anything having to do with making America great again.
It is just so mindless, and they keep using attacking trans people again. Their anti-trans rhetoric is disgusting. The midterms, Republicans were all about anti-trans rhetoric. That was like what the first and foremost their attack line on any Democrat. Oh, they're pro-trans, and Republicans lost. And in exit polling, it showcased that in terms of all the political issues, trans issues were at the very bottom of people's lists, because guess what? Most people aren't trans. So why are they going to get worked up over your attempt to take away trans rights, or why are they going to support you because you're anti-trans when why would they care unless they're trans? It's just these are bizarre attacks that are not going to work. In addition to be obviously, transphobic and disgusting, they're just not effective. So, like, I guess to be fair to them, what are they going to attack them on? Are they going to attack Tim Walz and the fact that he gave free school meals to children who are hungry? Are they going to attack him on expanding rights for individuals? Are they going to attack him on making college more affordable? Are they going to attack him on a tax credit? Like, where are they going to attack him? Everything Tim Walz has accomplished in Minnesota is incredibly popular. He's a very relatable guy. He is a normal person. He was a high school teacher. He was in the military for years in a high rank. Like, they have nothing to work with. So this campaign is going to be so fun to watch because I am going to predict right now Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to continue gaining support. Because when you look at Trump and J.D. Vance, what do you see? A couple of weird assholes. You look at Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, there are people there that actually want to help people, accomplish things, and actually also have that in their record.